Hello, so now that the beta changes are all over to the live branch, that's the big update done for the meantime. So we don't really know what's coming next, so I thought now is a great chance to go over the Trello board for Phasmophobia. So for those that aren't aware of Trello, the dev DK has basically put essentially the roadmap of Phasmophobia on this public board where you can view what's been worked on, what's in the backlog, the to-do list, known bugs, etc. So it's great. They update it very frequently. So I thought, let's go through it, see what's there at the moment. Maybe we'll be able to work out what's coming next. So to begin with, let's have a look at the backlog. At the top, you've got make an apartment building and make a mansion level. Two that I'm very excited for. Yeah, new maps would add a lot of replayability, in my opinion. So very excited for them. Note, it does say make an apartment building, singular. So I've kind of got an image of maybe a small map, similar to the houses, maybe the 3 houses in the game already. I would love more small maps in general because I find them much more interesting. They can get a little bit tedious, the bigger maps like Asylum, I won't lie, especially because I play a lot of solo. It doesn't really make it more difficult, I find the size. Again, just tedium. And the hunts are much more interesting on the smaller maps and much more risky. So I'm down for that. I would love it. I would love it if that was a small map, I won't lie. So next they've got make a mansion level. In my opinion, I guess that could be medium or large. Ooh, I've got like images of an old Victorian mansion. Something big grand staircase. Going off to the left and the right. Lots of potential. I'm very excited to see what they do with that. I think mansion is what I'm excited for the most. Next, they've got add haptic support, add night vision goggles as an expensive item. I would hope it would be expensive because night vision sounds a bit overpowered. Not sure how I feel about that. I think it would need to come with some severe limitations. Maybe like a battery mechanic. Maybe it won't have much use before it runs out. Because that sounds a little bit too strong, in my opinion. Next up, add an SLS camera. Okay, so I believe that works via like infrared, and I think it like if it detects a figure, like a ghostly figure, it will connect dots and like display a humanoid shape on the camera, I believe. So I guess that is a way to identify the ghost. Again, sounds quite strong. I do hope that would come with some limitations because we don't want too overpowered methods of finding the ghost, in my opinion. I mean, look what happened with the thermometer. That was very, very strong. It's all people use, but they have done some very interesting changes to that. So, yeah. Hopefully it won't be too strong. We'll see what they do with that. Add distant screams for outside and things in the windows of other houses. So that's really cool. I like that. I'm down for anything that adds more creepiness, more fear factor, more tension in general, because Phasmophobia excels at creating the terrifying, the tension, and the scary atmosphere, basically, as opposed to cheap jump scares like other games. So, yeah, I'm always down for more creepiness. Make plates and glass smash into pieces. Another great change, in my opinion. Can't wait for that to be added. Again, that would add to the tension, the fear, the scary atmosphere, stuff like that, in my opinion. Just things to keep you on edge. Next, static ghost shadows on windows with a chance spawn based on sanity. Yep. So again, another extremely creepy thing that would definitely add to the tension. Yet again, I'm loving these 3 changes here together. Can't wait to see something like that added into the game. Next, they've got add support for leg tracking with 5 trackers. Very interesting for the VR people. Add ghost voices for when the ghost is hunting. Ghost voices? I mean, I hope they just don't, like, say random sentences. Because the point of the spirit box is the only way to communicate with them, isn't it? Really? Not sure what they've got in mind, unless they just did like some creepy whispering or something as they got nearer. That could be very, very scary. Yeah, not much to go off by that comment. It's quite vague, but we'll see what they do with that. I hope, yeah, like I said, I hope they don't just formulate words at you, because I think that would go against the point of the spirit box, in my opinion. Maybe some creepy whispering, humming, something very creepy, who knows. Next up, swap from SteamVR to OpenXR. I'm not an expert on that, so I do not want to comment on that. I'll do my research. Replace the farmhouse tree shaders. This is the to-do list now, so that was the backlog done. VR teleport movement stops working when you grab a camera. Add a single player button that does not connect to the server. Only connect to the server when clicking the lobby button. Change play for multiplayer. Oh, okay. Allow you to play single player, I guess, like if the internet's down or something. Cool. Right, make weather a random chance for all the maps. Now that's cool. Now that's cool. I love it when games do things like that. It does add some replayability in a weird way. It really does. It really does give a different vibe to the level, so that's kind of cool. Wonder what they could do. Can you imagine like a really foggy night? That'd be creepy. You don't spend much time outside though, so I guess it wouldn't impact it too much. Maybe if there's maps which are more outside one day. Like a common suggestion is like a church with like a graveyard, stuff like that. Can you imagine like dense fog, or maybe next time you play it, heavy thunderstorm with torrential rain. Imagine seeing, not sure if you've seen the ghost through the heavy fog or the rain. Like maybe you think you've seen a silhouette, but you're not 100%. Yeah, that would be cool. Next, they've got add a new leveling system that scales the XP per level. Yeah, kind of cool, because I guess, yeah, you just increase at the same rate at the moment you're leveled, don't you? But I suppose it's kind of a pointless change when there's not much to benefit from leveling. You don't really gain, well, you gain nothing at the moment. I think past level, what is it, 20, 25? Or maybe even less, you've unlocked everything. More things to unlock would be cool as you level up more. In my opinion, what they could do, maybe character cosmetics. Maybe you could unlock new outfits, maybe you could unlock new character models, maybe. Or potentially even like cosmetics for the truck, something like that. Then if you're host, other people would see your cosmetics, I suppose. A lot of games do stuff like that. But yeah, in my opinion, I think leveling up needs new rewards before they take a look at that. Right, add the journal to the main menu as the next one. I suppose that's alright if you want to read up on the ghost type, stuff like that. I suppose that's the only use, isn't it? Yeah, little cool feature, why not? Add a VR scroll option for selecting pre-made controller rotations. Add a VR option to disable the snap turning and teleport locomotion fade. Make the ghost have a chance to throw objects towards the player. Yeah, I guess that would add to the creepiness again, wouldn't it? Just minding your business in the kitchen, having a kitchen knife thrown towards you. I guess that kind of is a little bit more than creepy, isn't it? That's straight up dangerous at that point. Can you imagine if there was like an HP system where they could KO you by throwing items? Oh goodness. Move the last page of the journal to the truck as a group mechanic. Ooh. I can see the downsides of that already. Big potential for trolling. Not a fan of that at all. I'm not. They would have to find ways. They would have to be very careful with that. They'd have to find ways to prevent trolling with that. I'm honestly not a fan of that, in my opinion. Especially if you've got a very awkward ghost that's not giving evidence, or you're doing a no evidence challenge and you disagree with your teammates on something and you want to guess differently. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that change at all. Well, it's on the to-do list, so it's not a change. I suppose they're just getting feedback on it, but yeah, I can see a lot of potential trolling. Add VR controller options to change movement to press. Add localization to the house map room names. Make the ghost interact with objects during its hunting phase. Objects? Very vague. I assume throwing all the interactable objects, like mugs maybe, glasses, plates. That could be cool. Causing carnage as they're hunting you. Objects flying everywhere. That might add to the scary atmosphere. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a cool addition. I'd like to see that. Add player volume options to the main menu. Yes, please. Because I don't know why, but whenever you play with people in Phasmo, I found that everyone's really loud. You have to turn them way down. So it's always deafening in the lobby, but then it's okay when you get in game because you can adjust the volume there. Add a language server room filter. Yeah, why not? That's good. Add stats to the post-game screen with information about the last game. Oh, okay. So stuff like time in the dark, amount of ghost events, phrases recognised, etc. Yeah, kind of cool. Everyone loves some good statistics, don't they? Maybe not just in the post-game screen. How about statistics over your whole career as well? I think that's something that I'd prefer, to be honest, as opposed to just stats from the last game. Maybe both. Best of both worlds, eh? I know people love their stats. Right. Now, known bugs. So they've got a whole section here on bugs that they know about, but haven't been fixed yet. So let's just see if there's any big ones on here. Can't connect to servers if you're on a US university internet. VPN is the only fix. New VR headsets have a white glare around their vision. Cameras are cycling without anyone pressing the button. Yes, I've seen that one. Journal is hard to use with a controller. Cameras on large maps don't always turn on. Yep. I have had that one as well. Yep. Inventory list items get added twice if you rejoin. Okay, wasn't aware of that one myself. If two players press the add item button at the same time, only one will be added. Flashlights gives no light for other players if they are around a corner. Oh, really? Interesting. Font does not support Cyrillic characters. Voice recognition stops working if you tab out. Okay, this one's been in the game since... ooh, very long time. I want to say a good few months. So, yeah, it's one they know about, but must be difficult to find a fix for this one. Fixed by clicking the game icon on your taskbar. For those that don't know about this, especially, you'll see it the most with the spirit box. When you're talking in the box and it doesn't say nothing detected, then the box isn't really working. So what you need to do, you do literally what it says, Alt-tab out to something else, and then you literally click on Phasmo on the taskbar, and then if you try talking again, normally that will fix it. It will then say nothing detected on the spirit box, so you'll know it's working then. So do pay attention for that message when you're using the box, because if you don't see it, you could be missing out on evidence. If a VR and non-VR player grab an object at the same time, they won't be able to use any items. Oh god. It's always fun playing with VR people, but not played enough to have that one myself. VR players are easily able to glitch through most walls. Yeah, I've seen this in action. I've seen a lot of cheesing in VR to avoid being killed during hunts and stuff like that. I imagine that's quite hard to fix, to be honest, because you've got a lot of freedom in VR. I've seen them literally glitch into everything. VR hands float away and become unusable once the truck door has been closed. Goodbye hands, who needed hands anyway, right? VR players can become blind if an object gets thrown into their heads. Oh god, poor VR people. Oh god. I wonder what they see from their perspective. Well, that's an extra challenge, isn't it, for the mission? Cabinet doors sometimes spawn outside. Interesting. I'd like to see that. Never seen that one. Okay, so that's it for the known bugs at the moment. So not too many. Not too many. This list used to be a lot bigger. It did. So in progress, host crashes when loading 4-player Asylum. Yeah, there's a lot of crashes on Asylum lately. There is. They have done a lot of optimizations, fixes, performance improvements on Asylum recently, which came over with the beta changes to the live branch, because I went through a phase of not being able to play Asylum. It was so laggy, but yeah, they fixed it, thank goodness. Hunts sometimes end too quickly in progress. Yes, this is something that happens very often, from what I've experienced. Must be a tricky one, because they've done a lot of potential fixes for this, which just don't seem to have worked, so who knows what's causing this one? It's very persistent, yeah. So that's it for in progress at the moment. So next beta update, I've got a category for that. Add a visual change to the crucifix when it gets used. Now that's cool. I like that, because the crucifixes have 2 uses, but you don't know when the first use has been used up. You don't know when you've prevented the first hunt. If you prevent 2 hunts with 1 crucifix, it will disappear. But its appearance will be unchanged if it only prevents 1 hunt. So maybe they're going to add, I don't know, maybe it becoming decayed, different colour, maybe it becoming cracked or something like that. That'd be cool. So next they've got done beta, but nothing there at the moment because all the beta changes have just come over to live. And finally, I'm not going to go through these, but this is the done section. So everything that has previously been in one of these sections on the left, that has now been completed, you can see what's been archived, which is very cool. Very cool to see like how the game's progressed recently. But yeah, I won't go through that because there's far too much. So there you go. Anyway, the Trello does get updated quite frequently. I will put the Trello link down in the description. If you've not seen it before, yeah, it's worth checking out on a regular basis. But if they do start adding quite a lot of new things, I might cover this more frequently. Might start going over it a little bit more. So yeah, very interesting to see what they're working on. So it looks like maybe the next, based on this, the next big thing could be a lot of things which will add more tension and fear during the level, which is cool. Like the screaming, the ghosts appearing at windows, ghosts throwing items at you, ghosts maybe making noises during hunts, stuff like that. All stuff that I really like the sound of, to be honest with you. A couple of new items they want to add. SLS camera and the night vision goggles, but like I said, I don't want them to be too overpowered because I feel like all the items are in quite a good spot at the moment. Maybe apart from the sensors. I would love it if the sensors got a little buff, but I'll talk about this in maybe another video. And finally, the 2 new maps, an apartment building and a mansion level. Very excited for them. Very, very excited. I think they would add a lot of replayability. I think adding maps is a great addition for this game. It would add so much replayability, definitely. So yeah, very exciting. One thing that I've not seen mentioned here that I would also love is more difficulty. But again, this is something I want to cover a little bit more in another video, because the thing that is probably not killing my enjoyment, but making it slightly less enjoyable at the moment for me, is that maybe I've reached a point where it's a little bit too easy. I would love some more difficulty, and I do have some ideas about this, which I'll probably cover in another video. So there you go, guys. That's Trello. That's the Trello board at the moment. Like I said, I'll probably cover this a little bit more often going forward. So yeah, I'll post a link in the description for you if you want to check it out. All very exciting stuff, to be honest. Yeah, can't wait to see what's coming next. But hopefully they'll take a little break after this big update that's come out, because I think they need it. They've been releasing updates nearly daily. It's been insane. Alright guys, cheers for watching, as always, and I'll catch you soon. See ya!